There's been at least one pro football team with fewer than 4 wins every season since 2004. Most of the teams that won fewer than 4 games were coming off a losing season. Most teams that won fewer than 4 games also got a top 3 pick in the next draft. 16 teams finished the 2022 regular season with a losing record, and history suggests at least one of them will finish the 2023 season with fewer than 4 wins. Sportsbooks are currently listing 7 teams to win fewer than 7 games this season, but predicting who will get a top pick in the draft is as difficult as predicting next season's champion. Yet there are a few teams we can reasonably expect to lose at least 10 games in 2023. Arizona lost their last 7 games of the 2022 regular season. Their new coaching staff consists of a first-time head coach, a first-time offensive coordinator, and a first-time defensive coordinator, plus their top quarterbacks finished the 2022 season with injuries that will linger into the 2023 season. San Francisco and Pittsburgh were featured in Episode 2 and should account for 3 of Arizona's losses this season. Back-to-back division games on the road weeks 6 and 7 should be difficult for Arizona as well. Over the last 5 weeks of the season, Arizona plays 4 teams that won games in the 2022 playoffs. It stands to reason that Arizona will likely lose all 4 of those games as well as their Week 17 game against defending NFC champion Philadelphia. Arizona does have a stretch of winnable trap games during the middle part of their season, but I'm thinking Houston is going to need a win during that Week 11 game just a little bit more. Tampa Bay won the NFC South in 2022 despite a losing record and the worst rushing attack in football. They won't have Tom Brady in 2023, and they haven't done much to improve their running back situation. Plus, they're the only team scheduled to play 6 away games over an 8-week period. We previously picked San Francisco to beat Tampa Bay in the middle of that tough stretch of games. Let's assume Tampa Bay opens that stretch with a loss at Buffalo and closes that stretch with a loss at Green Bay. In 2022, Tom Brady led Tampa Bay to 2 incredible second-half comebacks against New Orleans. With the GOAT now retired, let's pick New Orleans to win both their games against Tampa Bay this season. It's unlikely Tampa Bay's new quarterback will keep up with Minnesota, Philadelphia, or Detroit's offenses early in the season, and if they're really in contention for the number 1 pick in the draft by the end of the season, assume they'll find a way to lose to Jacksonville in Week 16 and Carolina in Week 18. Carolina is in the early stages of a complete rebuild with a lot of new names on offense. They have no reason to tank in 2023 since they don't have a first-round pick in the 2024 draft. Carolina should have more success at the end of the season compared to the start of the season, especially since they opened the 2023 season with 4 losable road games in the first 6 weeks. Carolina comes out of their bye week with 3 games against other teams going through a rebuild, but Chicago is further along in that process and should drop an L on Carolina when they play Week 10. In Episode 1, we picked Carolina to lose Week 14 at New Orleans in their 3rd consecutive road game. Earlier in this episode, we picked Carolina to beat Tampa Bay in the final game of the season. It feels like Carolina and Tampa Bay should split their division series, which means Carolina loses Week 13. Looking at Carolina's 3 unpicked games against playoff teams from last season, if Jacksonville hasn't clinched the AFC South before Week 17, they could get it done against Carolina. Both Minnesota and Dallas visit Carolina during tough stretches, giving both matchups trap game potential. Let's call both these games Carolina losses for now, but reserve the right to change them up later. And then we could take all the games picked in this episode, add them to the games picked in the first 2 episodes, and then we pick the winners for just over 26% of the regular season schedule. Thank you very much for watching Episode 3 of our preseason series. If you would like to be amongst the first to know when our next episode is available, go to footballelementary.com and sign up for the email list or follow Pro Football Max on the socials. Until next time.